Today we're going to install this Whirlpool Water Softener, and when you open up the box, this is what you'll find. You'll have the bypass valve right here, and then you have your hose clamps, some washers, and then you'll just have another adapter. Here's the instructions, and you can just scan this QR code and that will give you the step-by-step instructions. You've got the drain hose, and then you've got a water tester to see the settings that you need on your water softener.
So we're going to test our water hardness. So we're going to open. And then you dip this in the water and you wait 3 seconds and remove it. Make sure you don't shake it. And then you wait 20 seconds and match it with these. So 1, 2, 3. I would say it's definitely one of these end colors.
So this is what the model looks like. It's a Whirlpool, and the model, you can, if you open up the lid, you can see what the model number is, and then it gives you some instructions here as to how you set the timer and how you program everything. All right, so the tools that you will need for this repair, you'd want to tape measure, some channel locks, a pipe cutter, a water pressure gauge, emery cloth, or sand, it's labeled as sand cloth. And then there are a couple of options you have for pipes. You've got this really flexible braided pipe, and then you've got the corrugated pipe. They're both 24 inches. So depending upon what you need and what angles you have will determine which pipe you'll want to use. So on the one end of the pipe, you've got the shark bite. You can see it's a 24-inch shark bite max, and then same thing here. Well, on the other end, you've got a screw on. This goes from 3/4 to 1 inch, and then same thing here. You've got the shark bite on one end, and then you've got the screw on the other end, and they're both 24 inches, 3/4 by 1 inch. Now you'll have to turn off your main water valve, and so we're going to do this unless you have a shut-off valve by your water softener, but we don't, so we have to turn off the main water supply. Okay, so you want to open up your faucet at the highest level in your home and also the lowest level. So we'll go ahead and open this up, and this will help keep the water out and relieve all of the pressure. So you'll just let that run until it drains. Now this is the setup that we have right now. You've got the water going into your water softener, and then this is where the water goes out. Now we have a faucet here that we can help use to drain the water, so we'll go ahead and open this up. And we've already shut the water off, and we'll get all the water out of the line. Okay, so that's good. This is the drain line. You'll have to put the pipe and connect that to the water softener, and that's where the water will drain. Okay, so now we're going to remove the old water softener. You'll have to remove these two nuts. And remember, we have turned the water off. You might want to put a bucket down or a towel. So you just go ahead and twist that. We're using channel locks. You can use just a regular wrench, or you can use a crescent wrench. A lot of different types of wrenches you can use to get this off. We'll go ahead and unloosen this other side. Now we kind of ran into a problem that you can't see it, but there's solder that's leaked from when they did this up in here, and so it's blocking it as far as bringing this nut up. So we just We got it almost all the way up. Now we'll just push down and then we'll slide this out. And we'll just go ahead and slide the old water softener out. There we have a bucket. There we go. And we'll just need to go ahead and remove this drain hose. And it looks like we'll need a flathead screwdriver to do that. To take the hose off, you just need a flathead screwdriver. It might also be a Phillips, depending on what type of clamp you have. Then we'll just go ahead and slide this off. So when you take off the hose, you better be prepared. There's going to be some pressure in the drain. And yours might be a little bit different. Yours might run down the water softener. So we'll go ahead and drain this. So you've got the power cord. It's secured with this elastic band. You'll just take that off, and you can go ahead and remove this. And then, so you'll remove these two clips, and that will secure your shutoff valve. So you'll be putting these back in. And it looks like they've also have this plug in the one end. You'll want to take that out. Okay, so you want to make sure that you put your bypass valve in the right place. You can see it says in here, and this is our in supply, and then out is over here. So you'll just go ahead and push that in. And then you go ahead and reinstall the clips. And that will secure your bypass valve. There you have it. Now with this shutoff valve, you can open and close it. This would be closed, and this is to open it up. Really nice, because if you ever need to remove your water softener, you can just cut it out, cut your water line off here, and then you can remove your water softener by removing these clips. Okay, so we're now going to cut the pipe. We've got this pipe cutter. What you do is you open it up so it'll fit around the pipe. Okay, so when you put the pipe cutter on, you want it, you've got the indents here for where the pipe should go. Then you just tighten it up and start going around. And the more you go, the more you'll tighten it up. And you just keep tightening it as you go, and it'll just slowly cut the pipe. Tighten it up a little bit more. So now we'll go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. You just keep tightening it as you go around. Now what we've got here is on the back side, it's kind of rough because of the solder. Some solder leak down the pipe. Same thing over here, you can see that big glob. You know, we might be okay, but we'll take some of that off. The rest of the pipe seems pretty good. Okay, we're now going to use this device here we bought on Amazon. What it will do is it will gauge how far up you need to go, and it will also deburr the end of the pipe. So you just put it on, and then just go ahead and twist it around, and it will deburr it. That looks pretty good. We'll do the same thing here. Make sure you get it all the way up, and then that way you can see how far up the shark bite should go. That looks pretty good. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we've got a permanent marker. We're going to mark how far up you need to go, and make sure you've pushed it all the way up. We've already deburred it by twisting this. Now we're just going to mark how far up we need to push the shark bite so that we get it up all the way. Do the same thing over here, and make sure you get it all the way up, and then we'll mark that. Okay, now we're just going to try to remove that solder that was on the back side. So we're just going to see if we can get that nice and smooth. That sand cloth. And just make sure that it's nice and smooth. It's just on this back side where it dripped down. Front side feels really good. There's a little burr right here that we want to get off. There we go. Maybe just a little bit more. Just a tiny bit more at what it feels like. All right, now this one's feeling pretty good. This one, there's a little bit up top that we need to take off. There's not much. Okay, so now we're going to insert this rubber grommet. Just kind of slide it in. There you go, and then we'll put this adapter on. Slide that in. There you have it. Now what you want to do is you want to put the clamp on. You can see I've already installed that right here, and then we'll just go ahead and slide this up on. Get it up as far as you can. Okay, so we've got it almost all the way up to the top. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put the clamp on. So we just have to compress this a little bit and then slide it up on. And that looks pretty good. We've got no way that's going to leak. So now we'll just go ahead and push this in. We've already got the hose hooked up to it. And then we're just going to run this over into the sink over here. We'll cut it off so that it drains into the sink. Okay, we'll then go ahead and cut the hose. And then that will just drain into the sink. Okay, so we're now going to install the hose that goes to, this is where all the water will drain. It's got a pressure drain, and we'll run it up to this point right here. And when your water softener regenerates, it'll push the water into this drain up here. So we'll just go ahead and hook this on. Okay, you also need to put the clamp on. All right, we're then going to connect the hose to the drain up here. Push that on, and then we're going to use this this clamp, make it more secure. Just get it nice and snug. You don't want to over tighten it. That should be good. So we're going to tighten up this nut. We'll get it nice and snug. That should be good. And then we'll go ahead and put on the shark bite. You want to make sure that that's going straight up, and then you've got to push it all the way up. We've got the mark as to how far up it should go. There we have it. So that should be good to go. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and tighten this up. And you just want to get it nice and snug. That should be good. Then we'll just go ahead and slide the shark bite on. So now we'll just go ahead and push the shark bite on. It needs to go up to this mark. And there we have it. Okay, so we went ahead and put the lid back on. We'll then go ahead and plug it in. We'll eventually go in and put all the controls to where they should be. So what you want to do is slowly turn your outside water on, just nice and slow. So now you'll want to go ahead and check for any leaks. Just feel around the different connections and make sure there's no water. Looks like we're good. Everything looks like it's working well. So the next thing you want to do is just slowly open the bypass valve. Not open very slowly, but there we have it. Maybe we got to slow it down a little bit. So once you've turned your water back on, you want to keep your faucet open for a little bit and then go ahead and shut off all the faucets. We had a couple other faucets in the house that were open, and we'll go ahead and get those turned off. The next thing we're going to do is add some water to the tank, and we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so now we're going to add 3 gallons of water into the tank. And here we have the second gallon. And here we have gallon number 3. We'll then go ahead and add your salt. Okay, here's the second bag. It's a good idea to move the salt around. And here's the third bag. This we've got it up to level 5. So now we're going to set the program. First of all, we'll go ahead and put the time on. So the hardness, when we tested the water, the hardness was at 15, so we'll take that down to 15. And then the recharge time, we'll just keep that at 2 a.m. To set the salt level, you can see here, it shows you what level you're at. You just keep pushing the button until you get it to the level that you want. And then if you ever see this light flashing, that means you're low on salt. It's good just to check it every once in a while. But we're at level 5, so we'll go ahead and leave it there. Okay, so the next step that we're going to have to do is sanitize it, and we'll go through the steps of doing that.
We took the lid off. There's some clips in the back we popped off, and then we just lifted the lid up. In order to sanitize it, what we did is we got 3 ounces of bleach and we just poured it down into the brine well tube. Make sure the bypass valve's in the service open position. So next we're going to shut the lid. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to hold the recharge button until we hear the motor start. And this will start the recharge cycle. So you can hear the motor running now. And this will take in about 2.5 hours. So then after that we'll run a cold water faucet for about 20 minutes that's downstream to clear out the bleach. So we'll just do that here in our basin. So now that we've sanitized it, put the bleach in it, what we're going to do is we're going to want to run cold water that's downstream for about 20 minutes to get it all.
But thanks for watching Big Al Repairs, and hopefully you subscribe.